I started this with two others 2 years ago. It started initially as an effort to start something to mitigate climate change, carbon emissions. And we first thought, well, we'll go with a community compost, but we couldn't make that happen. So we segued and decided, why not a garden? And we started not here, but in a little spot downtown near the community activity welcome center. That did okay, but then, the pandemic hit, so we've been very limping along, not really very active. This is the second year. The town gave us this spot very cautiously. They didn't want to give us part of town property without knowing that we were going to prove ourselves, that we were going to do something good with it. So they just gave us a little bit. Last year, it was just what you see inside this not very beautiful plastic fence. This year, they gave us permission to expand it into a food forest. We were joined by a local woman who is an educator, and she had experience with this, and we were thrilled. So what this means, adding fruit trees of all kinds, adding perennial flowers, adding blueberry bushes. Eventually we'd like to add a mushroom incubator in the shade. And the community's slowly getting on board. They've been recommending things. Why not bees? Why don't you grow bees? So, this is not because we've been pushing the PR to any extent at all. It's just sort of seeping in around the edges. People are sort of getting hip. And I guess that's how it works in Windsor. You can see that the way we've planned it, it's hands off that part for now. And we hope to expand in that. We don't know if we'll be given permission, and we frankly don't know what we do with that yet. So we're starting with just 2 rows back. Luckily for us, this dog walking park, Paradise Bark, just opened up this spring. So everybody was thronging over here. They had no place to walk their dogs. It's a perfect confluence sort of 2 communities. And so we're going to try to put when we get funding, we're going to put a fence up there, expand it into perennial gardens, and try to lure dog walkers into walking their dogs around and looking at the cool things that we're doing here. So there's lots of potential. And we're trying to do it all no dig. We've put down cardboard to suppress the grass. Sometimes put paper, mostly it's just been cardboard, and wood chips over that. And it's mostly worked pretty well, but it's been hot and we haven't been as diligent, I must confess, as we could, but it's okay so far. And we're still working at getting all the grass covered. So once we get all the wood chips in, that'll look a lot more tidy. Those are aqua gators, and they're sort of like inner tubes. You fill them up with water. They drip out, and so they drip out little by little. These are all around the new trees that we've planted just this year, so those are particularly thirsty.
One of the threats that are deemed for like source water protection is the drilling of new wells, right?
Yeah.
And so this right here may be an alternative.
And we just got the idea, we found it it went viral on YouTube, to take these cattle panels and to arch them over, and suddenly it's pretty and you've got things hanging and you can walk through and pick green beans or melons or whatever you have growing. So we went crazy for that. This is our idea of what might be a seating area, because we still don't know each other. We've met more of each other this year, but there are some people with beds here that I've still never met. So our plan is to get 2 or 4 of these where we've got the whole town collecting plastic. So that's very cool, And we're going to put these cattle panels up over these benches, grow grapes, grow, butternuts, little mini butternut squash, anything that we can get to grow to cast shade, and use this as a place not only to look at our dogs, but also to look at our wonderful garden